Hello boys and girls, John here from Rock County Jet Ski, Watcon.com. Welcome to Watercraft Talk. In this video, I want to talk about the importance of drive shaft alignment and on a Yamaha, specifically on a Yamaha Superjet. You guys again are reaching out, and thank you so much for that. And I've had some requests for a video showing how to align a drive shaft, how to mount a jet pump and align the drive shaft to the mid shaft on a Yamaha Superjet. Sorry, I can't talk today. I don't know what's up with that. So anyway, I went ahead and I think that's a good idea, and we're building a Superjet, and I thought, what is a perfect opportunity to show you what we do. So if you want to come over here, Chris, I'm going to just take a flashlight. I'll take a flashlight over here. I'll come to this side. So what we have, we'll go in here first. What we have is, I've already taken the liberty to mount this up. I originally kind of thought that we'd go through the whole thing, and I did not. I figured, you know, I'm going to just save you guys the pain of me cussing and swearing and getting upset about this one. Kind of kicked my butt. They can be very difficult. So just as a for instance, I had this ski rolled up on its side. And I was working on it, and I had it all on the stand sideways, and I had towels down and had it rolled up on its side, had the jet pump in, and had it all aligned perfect. And it went together like butter. And I thought, great. And I flipped the ski back down and rolled it over here, and I went ahead and put my piece in, and it was like, it was like clunk. I'm like, what the heck? And it was literally the weight of the drive shaft changed, rolling the ski from the side to the, it was just enough that it wasn't like butter anymore. And I exaggerated there. It wasn't that hard of a clunk, but it wasn't perfect. And I even rolled it back up on its side, and then it was perfect. So I thought, okay, well, and then I realigned it while it's sitting like this. And now, it's perfect. So we'll talk a little bit about this, and you're going to be able to. We've got tools. We're going to have these alignment tools for both. I've got square nose. We've got round nose. I'm going to include hardware. We use. I use a tapered, a countersunk type bolt when I mount this, and that way it centers the hole. So this is perfectly centered. I'm gonna have to offer a professional kit too, where you will get one sleeve and then two plates for a guy maybe running a shop, or if you work on a lot of skis and you want two, and it'll be a little less because you don't need two sleeves, but you can have two plates. So go to Watcon.com, and in our tool section you'll be able to see our alignment tools. So this one now, and I've spent some time. We've got that. It is just literally in there like butter. And what happens is if you don't align it, the mid shaft that mounts here isn't going to mesh correctly with the drive shaft, and it wears out your splines. We see it all too often, and in fact, we've been guilty of it ourselves, where we change an impeller out on the beach, and you put it back together, and you think you've got it straight, and even if you have shims and you put the shims back in the same spot, it's not straight. In fact, my son Brody did that and wrecked the drive shaft on his Superjet when he changed out the impeller once on a ride. We were at a ride, and he sucked up a rock, and we took it out and bent the impeller back and put it back together, and then he left it, and it didn't vibrate or do anything weird, and he had the ski apart for another reason, and the splines here were just shot, and now he had to buy a drive shaft. So then you need to buy a drive shaft and a mid shaft. So very crucial to do this. We'll come around back here, Chris, and we'll just show a little bit about what I did and how I do it. We'll get down here, and so we've got, you can see the stack of shims in here, and I'm going to just adjust the camera there like that, and I think you can see I've got a pretty good stack of shims on that side, and I ended up, and I've got a stack of shims on that side, and I ended up, they're not the same, believe it or not. Usually they are. I can shim it the same, but this particular ski, I couldn't get it perfect, even messing with it. So here's something too I want to talk about, messing with it side to side. I use a big pry bar like this, and I go in just like that, and I will pry it. I'll leave the bolts snug, just a little less than snug, so I have some resistance, and you give it a gentle little pry, and then you go up and you check it again. And then sometimes you got to come back to this side, and you give it a gentle little pry, and you go back and you check it again. And this one, even though I had it perfectly centered and I had the shims, it just wasn't quite right, and I changed to shim on the left-hand side, and then it straightened right out, and now it's real good. So there's the shims. Again, I'm sorry. I figure you guys don't need to watch me wrenching. I'd rather just explain the process and talk about how important it is and show you the final deal. So I hope you can appreciate that. So there is our jet pump to midshaft alignment. Again, we will have tools for sale at watcon.com. Please hit us up. If you have any questions, as always, please feel free to reach out. And thank you to all of you who do reach out. Again, this was your guys' idea. You guys wanted to see this video. I know others have done videos, but now it's on my channel too. And thank you for all our loyal subscribers. If you're not a subscriber, and if you're new and you like this, please subscribe. It helps our channel. Hit the like button and tell all your friends. So that's it for today. Thank you again for watching. When you're out and about, please be nice to each other. And the next time, we'll see you out on the water. Okay, I'm back. We're going to do a little addendum to this video, as when I was putting this together, I forgot to discuss about a shim on the midshaft housing when you're putting it on the hull. All too often, as we're building these superjets, even from the factory, you'll see they have a shim on the midshaft housing, and I didn't talk about that previously here and earlier in the video. So I thought, let's turn the camera back on and discuss this. When I was putting this together, when I was bolting the midshaft housing to the hull, I noticed there was a gap, and I wasn't happy with it. So I went back, and I want to talk about what I did and show you what I did. So this is the tool that we used, and I don't have it in the hull currently because the midshaft is in there. But as you remember, this is in the hull. This slides over the shaft. Now we'll talk a little bit about a square nose. Square nose, this tool only goes in this far. It hits on the hull. A round nose, you can get it to go in all the way. And with it going in all the way, you feel it binding more. My tool is old and beat up and has 8,000 miles on it, and that's not a lie. And so when I was putting it in here, it felt good, but I noticed when I was bolting the midshaft housing to the hull, it had a gap, and there was a gap up here. So I took it back off, and I'm bolting it up slowly and evenly, and I had to, use more force to pull this in, which is telling me that this was off. So I pulled it back off. I put this back on, and I played with shims. I started with the shim that I thought it was going to be. I played with shims. This is what we ended up with. I had this bolted back on and put a shim in it, and this still went in like butter. Very happy with it. And then now I'm not drawing this in to close that gap. So I just wanted to show that. I'm sorry, I forgot about it earlier. I thought about it after we turned the camera off, that many times I do add a shim here, and it's important to experiment and try different things, and just pay attention to when you're using your tool, and make sure that it is truly sliding in together. But more importantly, when you're putting your housing on, if you have any question, keep working at it. You can't rush this. So there, a little addendum to our video. We'll tack this on with the original. Like I always say, I hope you find this informative. Please hit the subscribe button, like, tag, share, and follow. When you're out and about in the public, or just even more so on the internet and Facebook, please be kind. Please be nice to each other. And hopefully the next time we'll see you guys out on the water.